warrantless arrests and qualified immunity, and is brought to us by KDJ Pro's channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. On March 3rd, 2021, Missouri resident Mark Everman was riding as a passenger as his wife drove on Highway 69 north of Adair, Oklahoma, when Officer Adolfo Carlos of the Adair Police Department pulled them over for an alleged speeding violation, even though the body camera footage shows that Officer Carlos actually clocked the vehicle's speed as under the 45-mile-per-hour speed limit. After stopping the vehicle, Officer Carlos approached the driver's side window.
How you doing? Got your license on you.
So why did you pull me over?
Speeding, ma'am.
No, I slowed down to 45.
No, I got you at 58 coming in there.
No, it was 40.
Sir, is a traffic stop with you? Step out for me. Step out. Step out. I'm not going to ask you again. Step out. 8 to 1. Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for disorderly conduct. I'm gonna have a seat over here with me.
After Mr. Everman uses a single profanity to show his skepticism of the speed Officer Carlos claims the vehicle was traveling, Officer Carlos handcuffs Mr. Everman and informs him that he is under arrest for quote-unquote disorderly conduct. Given the long-established First Amendment protection for using profanity and criticizing the police, it is almost guaranteed that Mr. Everman could not be constitutionally convicted of disorderly conduct for his use of a curse word.
Oh, right this way, sir.
Oh, you're funny.
Have a seat in your car, ma'am. You can record, have a seat in your car. You can record all you want, but have a seat in your car. The way he's acting, I don't feel comfortable leaving him in the vehicle the way he's acting. Have a seat back in the car. The minute I walk up to the first words that come out of your mouth, you...
First words that came out of my mouth, and I never said that. That's a lie.
You call me a couple times.
I did not.
It's all recording,
Not
okay?
when you first walked up. So you're right, it's recorded.
Here's the thing. I don't feel comfortable leaving you in your vehicle.
I understand.
Nobody knows. Listen, let me explain to you. Nobody.
I don't want to hear it.
Nobody. Well, you're gonna hear it because I'm telling you. Nobody in their right mind acts like that. I don't know what your deal is.
When you're telling a lie.
I don't know what your deal is.
You lied when you walked up there and said she was doing 58.
That's fine.
When I know she wasn't, I said that's a lie.
Were you the one driving?
I was watching her speak because I saw you way before we got there.
Were you the one driving?
You know what? I'm done. I'm done talking.
Okay, so that's why you're in cuffs and sitting back here.
Whatever.
Well, you should have shut up from the beginning. You wouldn't be where you're at.
Officer Carlos essentially admits that he arrested Mr. Everman solely for his speech, stating that he wouldn't be in handcuffs if he had quote-unquote shut up from the beginning. The Fourth Amendment protects the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. Because arrests are seizures of persons, if an arrest is not reasonable under the circumstances, it is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. In general, a warrantless arrest is considered reasonable only if the officer has probable cause to believe that the suspect committed a crime in the officer's presence. As Officer Carlos had no evident probable cause to place Mr. Everman under arrest for his protected speech, his arrest almost certainly constituted a Fourth Amendment violation. If Mr. Everman pursues a 1983 claim against Officer Carlos, there is a strong chance he will not be entitled to qualified immunity.
Here's the reason why your husband went in cuffs. Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you. I don't have to answer that part. Let me explain something to you. When I walk up here and your husband raising his arms up and saying, and this guy's a, I don't know there's a gun in here. I don't trust him. There's something wrong with your husband. I don't know if he has anger Listen, let me finish. I don't know if he has anger problems or what's wrong with him. But put yourself in my shoes. If you walked up, okay, what are you? Do you need help? Are you sure you're fine? Okay, because you're telling me you're scared to go with him. I don't trust that guy. There's something wrong with him. I don't know if he has anger problems. And you can record. You don't have to hide your phone up there. Put it in front of you. You have every right to record. I don't know what's wrong with that guy. You guys only record the part where he goes in cuffs, but you didn't record the whole part where he's over there. Why is he acting like that? Is he under the influence of something? Does he have mental problems? Anger issues? Anger issues. There you go. Hang tight.
Mr. Everman's wife tells Officer Carlos that her life is quote-unquote going to be hell after the traffic stop, and while denying that Mr. Everman was under the influence or had mental problems, answered yes when Officer Carlos asked if he had anger issues. While these statements alone would not grant Officer Carlos probable cause to arrest Mr. Everman, a court could find that Officer Carlos was within his rights to detain and investigate Mr. Everman on reasonable suspicion.
You got any ID on you? So I'm gonna document your name and stuff and send it up. I don't know why your wife's scared. Is that your wife? Okay. Everything is on body cam too, okay? She's saying she's scared to get back in the car with you after she got a ticket. I don't know if you beat your wife or what kind of... Come here, I'm not done talking to you.
Flavia.
Hey, hey,
You need to get back in the car.
have a seat back over here.
You're
Hey,
letting this man lie like this?
have a seat back over there.
What? He just told me you said you were afraid for
Stand
me
right
to get
there.
back in the car.
Stand right there.
Come on,
You
man.
walk over there again, I'm taking you to jail. I think you beat your wife, honestly. I'm going to tell you right now. The way you act, it's on body cam. It's all on body cam. Why would she tell me? I don't know your wife.
She didn't say that. You're lying.
She said you
Stop
have
it.
anger problems.
You need to stop.
Okay,
You need
it's
to
all
stop.
on body cam,
You
okay?
should stop.
You got any ID or anything on you?
You should stop. No, I don't.
I'm gonna
I wasn't
document
driving.
this.
I don't have any
But you
ID.
got involved with the traffic stop. You wanted to sit there and get involved. You're involved now. You wanted involved? You're involved now. You got any ID on you?
Do you have anger issues? Because you have not lowered your anger this whole
Okay.
entire time.
Do you have any ID on you?
I said no. Why are you,
Where's your ID?
why are you such a high level?
I'm concerned for her, honestly.
Are ya?
I am.
Are ya? This is some weird, twisted reasoning you have. You've got a serious anger problem, dude. Really worried about you.
Let's put this guy. You're free to go. I don't know what this guy's capable of.
I appreciate it, guys. You guys be safe, honestly. Because you are why cops get hurt.
Come here. Hey, now come here. Hey, no, doesn't. Hey, stay where you're at, ma'am. Hey, do not leave. Hey, you're not free to leave. You just threatened me.
I did not
Step out of the vehicle. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
I did not threaten.
You just told me. Get out.
I know that's right.
You just told me that you hope I don't get hurt, and I'm put your hands behind your
I
back.
asked you to be safe.
Now you caught a felony. You want to play that game?
Mr. Everman tells the officers to be safe and states that Officer Carlos's conduct is, quote, why cops get hurt. He then immediately walks back to the vehicle and gets inside. Officer Carlos demands that Mr. Everman step out of the car and handcuffs him, claiming that he threatened him and committed a felony, as we've discussed in previous episodes of ATA. While the First Amendment does allow states to criminalize quote-unquote true threats, it is difficult to believe that any court would find that Mr. Everman's statement was a serious threat, particularly given the fact that he immediately returned to his car to leave. Even if Mr. Everman's statement did constitute an illegal threat, it is unclear what felony offense Officer Carlos believed that Mr. Everman had committed. While Section 21-1378 of the Oklahoma statute states the quote, any person who shall threaten to perform an act of violence involving or intended to involve serious bodily harm or death of another person shall be guilty of a misdemeanor. Because Mr. Everman did not threaten any act of violence, this misdemeanor offense wouldn't apply to this situation. Additionally, Section 21-649 makes knowingly committing an assault upon the person of a police officer a misdemeanor offense. And Section 21-641 defines an assault as, quote, any willful and unlawful attempt or offer with force or violence to do a corporal hurt to another. However, Mr. Everman's statement wouldn't be considered a violation of this statute because, as the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals summarized in the 2016 case of United States v. Mitchell, quote, under Oklahoma law, the offense of assault may be characterized by either an attempted battery or a threatened imminent battery, i.e. an offer, with an overt act beyond mere words. Mr. Everman's quote-unquote mere words were not illegal under either of these misdemeanor statutes and certainly did not rise to the level of a felony criminal offense. To learn more about threats in the First Amendment, check out the episode of ATA linked in the description.
Wow, wait.
He went from he has anger issues to
Twisted around, please. I have a weapon.
Hey,
Officer?
got her. He's got a weapon. You literally just told me I'm the reason cops get hurt, and you hope nothing happens to me out here while you're carrying a gun on you? Seriously? Have a seat in there.
Officer, come on.
You ever sit and thought about the threats you made?
I did not threaten you, sir.
You just literally said,
I said
You're the
I hope
reason-
you're safe.
I hope you're safe. You got a
But
grin.
you are acting outrageous.
And you said you're the reason cops
You've
get hurt out
taken
here.
this to 100% level for no reason.
You're getting cited for $795. All your information's on this ticket
For what crime?
for the way you were acting. Your concealed carry, I'm probably going to keep it and send it to the state of Missouri and get it revoked from you for the threats you made while we're in the traffic stop.
Okay.
as of this time the firearm is being seized as evidence.
The officers inform Mr. Everman that his firearm is being seized as evidence, and that they will have Missouri revoke his concealed carry permit for the quote-unquote threats he made. Under Section 21-1290.26 of the Oklahoma statutes, an individual who is in possession of a firearm authorized for concealed or unsealed carry by another state must disclose that fact upon coming in contact with any Oklahoma peace officer. In general, officers can seize a firearm if they have a reasonable suspicion that it has been used in the course of a crime, and this appears to be the basis for the seizure in this situation. situation. Because Mr. Everman had the firearm on his person when he made the alleged threat, the officers argue that it is evidence, potentially, for a charge involving a threat with a deadly weapon. However, as Mr. Everman doesn't appear to have violated any laws, aside from failing to immediately disclose his weapon to the officers, it is likely a court would find that the seizure of the firearm was not warranted. The officer's threat to get Mr. Everman's concealed carry license revoked also appears to be baseless. Under Section 571.225 of the Missouri Revised Statutes, quote, any person who has knowledge that another person who was issued a Missouri concealed carry permit no longer is eligible for such permit may file a petition with the clerk of the small claims court to revoke that person's concealed carry permit. However, quote-unquote, making threats is not identified as one of the reasons an individual can become ineligible. While criminal convictions can lead to disqualification, a mere arrest or charge cannot serve as the basis for revoking a permit. An individual can also lose their license if the sheriff reasonably believes that they are, quote, a danger to self or others based on previous documented pattern, but a single incident would not be sufficient to meet this standard.
Evidence of
The threats you made, and that's why you received a citation, why you went in cuffs the whole time you had.
a business card, please.
After providing a citation and a court date, the officers allow Mr. Everman and his wife to leave. According to a follow-up interview Mr. Everman posted on his YouTube channel, he called a defense attorney 5 minutes after this interaction concluded and fully intends to pursue legal action. Mr. Everman also stated that he called the chief of the Adair Police Department, but his concerns were not taken seriously because of the alleged threats involved in the incident. Several YouTube channels have shared Mr. Everman's story, and within hours of the video being shared by the lackluster YouTube channel, the Adair Police Department's Facebook page and phone number were down. According to Mr. Everman, the prosecutor has dropped all charges against him and returned his property after 2.5 months. Overall, Officer Carlos gets an F for blatantly violating Mr. Everman's constitutional rights, displaying a fundamental misunderstanding of the First and Fourth Amendments, and for maintaining a hostile and accusatory demeanor throughout the interaction. Officer Carlos's conduct speaks for itself to a large degree, and it goes without saying that his behavior should be investigated at the very least. Not only did the officer display a reckless disregard for Mr. Everman's civil liberties, but it appears that he also initiated the traffic stop based on a lie, although it could be argued that Officer Carlos had the legal authority to investigate Mr. Everman for a possible domestic abuse charge. It is clear from the video that the officer was maliciously accusing Mr. Everman of anything he could in an effort to justify his detention. This stop is wrought with misconduct from beginning to end, and I firmly believe that Mr. Everman has a strong federal case on his